Hi, I'm Jim Jubak, and welcome to my Stock Pick of the Week video. This week's stock pick is Hasbro. Ticker is HAS. Now, this is not a stock that's going to set anybody's heart aflutter. Beep, beep, beep. No AI, no big technology involved here. They make toys. And toys are thought to be, perhaps, traditional toys are thought perhaps to be a declining industry. Certainly that's one of the reasons that Hasbro is trading at, what are we now? About 60% off its 2019 high. So I'm not recommending this as a growth stock. I'm recommending this as a dividend stock. I think the cash flow from toy sales are sufficient to keep the dividend up. The stock pays 5.5 to 6% yield, and in a market where it's hard to find that kind of yield, I think this one is relatively safe. They just The dividend was announced at 70 cents a quarter back in December. Record date is February 1st, so you can get in on this for that. I think we're looking at basically sort of flat sales for Hasbro in 2024. That should be an improvement. They got rid of some businesses in 2023, which led to an 8% decline in sales. So flat basically going forward. They've got a lot of media partnerships. They've got brand names that if you have a child, particularly one at the age of like 5, you know. So it's My Little Pony. If you have a slightly older child of the boy persuasion, they may know Transformers. They have a very a very efficient model, which is to try to get all these things into general culture and to do TV shows and spin-offs from them, which is the name of the game in toys these days. About 3 companies, including Hasbro, control about 40% of the US traditional toy market. Those same 3 companies control about 30% of the global market. As I said, this is not a growth industry. This is not an exciting industry, but sometimes what you really want is a nice 5.5 to 6% return. I would look at this one very carefully. They're starting to do some buybacks because cash flow has gotten better. So that ought to add a little bit to the sort of dividend-like return to investors. Watch this one carefully. You certainly don't want to fall in love with it. This is not a stock to hold and will to your grandchildren, although they may like the toys. But it is a nice 6% yield, and I'm going to be adding it to the dividend portfolio in the next couple of days. So thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you get notification of when we're doing our next one. We're doing about 3 a week. You can get more of my stuff, including the dividend portfolio and 2 others, on my free site. That's jubakpicks.com. If you want 6 portfolios, including the dividend portfolio, the 2 that are on the free site, and 3 more, including some volatility and some really long-term stuff, you can subscribe to my paid site. That's Jubak Asset Management, jubakam.com. And I've recently moved to Italy. That's where this is coming to you from. I'm going to be here for the foreseeable future. It's a lovely place to do video work as well as any other kind of work. So nice to do a video and then go out and have a little aperitivo and watch people go by on the campo. So anyway, if you want to follow our adventures on that, you can subscribe to my free Substack called We Moved to Italy, we being my wife and I. And you can find links to all this stuff. That's the YouTube free, the free website, Jubak Picks, the subscription website, Jubak AM, and the new Substack, We Moved to Italy. You can find links to all that down below. Thanks very much for watching.